Thanks for joining me for this edition of the Church Security Answer Man. Today we're going to talk about 4 mistakes that I've seen churches make on numerous occasions in different settings. And I'm giving you my opinions on this. This comes from my opinions. And it's based on the fact that especially pre-pandemic, I used to visit churches, audit them, be invited to come and take a look at their programs, and then, of course, some consulting work with some of them. And from talking to people at lots of trainings that I used to do, live seminars. So I want to share with you some things that I'm aware of that we make mistakes on, just to try to improve, just to give you my opinion. So, and my goal is, I'm always here to help. I want to help you improve, even if you have a great, and you have maybe you have a big security team or a great team. I want to try to share some things with you that I've seen outside of your area or outside of your team, some things that I've seen, and just to try to help you improve. That's where my heart's coming from. I'm not being critical of these teams. I just want to share to try to help improve and help me improve and help my team improve and help your team improve as well. So one of the areas, I want to get started right away. One of the areas that is, I'll put it at number 4 on the list, and that is getting our teams together or staying focused or rejuvenating based on active shooter possibilities, and getting so focused on that we lose sight of other things that are actually more of a possibility. And so, and here's what I want to mention, if we're looking at the top thing, active shooter, most difficult to be prepared for. There's firearms training, there's use of force training. I mean, there's all kinds of fear. And all along the way, if you're trying to rejuvenate your team based on that focus, you're trying to start a team based on that focus, you're trying to go to your leadership based on that focus of the active shooter, that's a huge deal to be focused on. Especially in the beginning, or if you're new to taking over the team, it's a tough thing, even to go approach your leadership to start a team or to get other funding or something like that. It's a scary thing. And so we want to look at other stuff. That's my proposal. We're not going to ignore that, but that's a pretty high mountain to climb right away, or to be too focused on the active shooter incident, when again, statistically, it's not likely to happen. So we want to make sure that we're mentioning that as well. I mean, just in the United States, if you're watching outside of the United States, as I know some of you are, then we've got, just in the United States, we've got 350,000 registered churches, from home churches to mega churches. So statistically, when we have a shooting every so often, statistically, it's a terrible thing. It's tragedy, but it's not likely to happen at your church, but we're going to be prepared for it. And so, but it's a tough mountain to climb, like I'm saying, during some of these other times where we're getting started, or we're trying to find a team or put together a team, or maybe our team's so small and we're trying to build the team for whatever reason. So not getting organized or getting too focused on just the active shooter, because there's many more things that are likely to happen. Medical emergencies, people interrupting your service interruption, mental health issues, people with mental health issues coming to your church and possibly interrupting your service just from being loud or a little disorderly or intentionally there to disrupt your service. So the next mistake that house of worship security teams tend to make, in my opinion, don't forget that, is that at number 3, they don't try to minimize the number of entrances into the facility, into the church. We need to work, we're traditionally open. We want everybody to come in. We want them to be part of our family, and we want to welcome them. So locking up doors, closing doors is not perceived as friendly, but we have to look at the balance of it. So we have to look at a warm, welcoming environment, but also a secure place. So getting your facility down to as few of entrances as possible is very important. You know, if you can get it, if you're at 7 or 8, all the doors are open. If we can get it down to like 2 or 3, because you've got to post people at those entrances if you're going to really have a good security plan. So you got to have someone there, or somebody that can see. Maybe it's 2 entrances and you can see one here and you can see all the way down the hall to the other one. So you can post one person here that can see all of that. However that works out. But that's what we need to try to do. And we're talking about minimizing those entrances by locking them so that people can't come in from the outside. We're not talking about creating a hazard. We're not talking about interfering with the exit process if there was an emergency. We're not talking about that. We're talking about just making it so people can't open the doors from the outside and come in. If you could get it to 1, that's great. But many of us may not be able to get it below 2 or 3 entrances. So, but we need to be aware of that. So, and again, we're not talking about preventing people from exiting in an emergency or even when they want to leave. Our church is, we basically, 20 minutes before the service starts, before the first service starts, until after services are out, we minimize the entrances. So if people with keys want to come in and bring stuff in close to their classroom or close to their service area, they want to bring in some heavy stuff or boxes, they can do that up to 20 minutes before service. And then those entrances are closed. They can't use their key anymore. They have to come to the main entrance that we've designated. So, and that way we can control that area. We can control who's coming and going, be able to see who's coming and going, and protect people better by minimizing those areas. Very, very important. And it's a mistake that we don't make. And sometimes it's a tough one to change because we're traditionally open and we want everybody to come in, kind of thing. Number 2, in my opinion, is that team members are not encouraged to be serious about their tasks. We may be assigned to a post, watch this area, and the next thing you know, that person's cell phone takes over, or they don't want to exactly stand right here. They would rather sit over here where it's more comfortable, kind of thing. And I get that. I definitely understand that. But as security, we're serving an important mission. We're a gatekeeper. We're supposed to protect our people and be serious about that. Now, as leadership, you can help that by telling people we need to stay here, encourage them to be in this area, but you can also give them training and help them to see through training that this is an important task, and helping them feel like it's more of an important task by giving them training and having meetings and getting together and making the security mission very important, because it is a tough task. I mean, it's rare that something's going to happen for most churches. There's some of you that are downtown cities and you're in high crime areas, so it's a different story. You're going to have stuff going on weekly. But others of you, majority of the churches are small, less than 75 people. And so you're going to have some challenges in just keeping people focused on what they're supposed to do, or you as a security member staying focused. But it's such an important mission for us to be standing guard and taking care of our people. So the last mistake that I see churches making over the last few years, and as I've audited and visited, is we're not working as hard as we should. And this goes with the last point and goes with several others, really. But we're not working as hard as we can to try to get training for our people. That is very important. Trying to find training wherever we can, whether it's an internet training, something, rather than ignore it and not have a meeting for 6 months or a year. That's not good. Having just a meeting to talk about what you want us to do or to get direction is important. And so that we're acting as a team, we're functioning as a team, we feel the importance of it, and we feel like we're part of a mission, and we understand the seriousness of it, and then we're also getting training, even if it's a video online on communicating with difficult people or dealing with mentally ill persons or some aspect of that, dealing with conflict. Any of those kind of things that you can have for training, and even if it's just showing a video on the TV in the classroom where you're training at, whatever that looks like. But try contacting your local police department, or get online and see if there's a local trainer of something, or find a local psychologist who might help give you some training in dealing with mentally ill people or dealing with difficult people, or somebody that can help you with communication. I mean, we even have stuff online on our website. If you go to our main hub, churchsecurityanswerman.com, and I don't care if it's our training that you do, or just get some training. Find resources. Go talk to the local police department. See if they have a trainer that would come and do some training for you, or see if their trainer would recommend, because they're going to know what resources are available in the community and maybe what those best resources are, because they've probably used them a bit as well. So these are my opinions I'm giving you based on my experience and looking at lots of churches and interacting with lots of security teams. But I want to hopefully add to what you're already doing well and improve our teams even more. So thanks for joining me today. Please subscribe to our channel depending on where you're watching, or like it so that we can get connected. Leave a comment wherever you can. Give me a note, leave a comment on what's going on with your team. Where have you found training? What resources do you use for training? Leave me a comment, which is you really leaving a comment for everyone to share with them. And that's what that we want to build here for people. So, and then like I mentioned, you can always go to our hub, which is churchsecurityanswerman.com. And we've got free stuff there for you. We've got paid stuff. We've got forms, free ebook, as well as in the comments down here if you're watching this on YouTube, or come over to YouTube. There we have so many places for you to get stuff with our group, and that's because we want to help you. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a safe and secure week.